Today we're going to look at the most powerful cards in Magic the Gathering that have no power. Nothing whatsoever. I'm going to start off with Spellskite. This is a 2-mana 0/4 Phyrexian Horror artifact that is famous for redirecting other people's removal spells to the Spellskite, particularly if it's a burn spell that deals only like 2 damage, 3 damage. Spellskite can soak it up, but it does even more. So it can pay either a blue or a Phyrexian mana to redirect spells to the Spellskite. However, if you need to lose your life for some reason, I don't know, you want to activate a Death Shadow or something, you could activate this as many times as you want on the stack. Just obliterate your life total. Now, not only that, you can target spells that can't even be redirected to Spellskite. You know, I believe you can like target a counter spell with Spellskite. Like you play a spell, they counter spell. They'll be like, okay, do you know what? I'm gonna Spellskite that thing. Pay 2 life. Pay another 2 life. Pay another 2 life. So you can target your own spells. They don't even target Spellskite. Because when the spell resolves, they'll be realized, oh, you can't even actually redirect this thing to Spellskite. So you keep those things in mind. All right. We got some suggestions. We got Devoted Druid. Man, do I hate this card. Only because I played a deck that wasn't very good versus it. Green 1 generic 0/2 creature. It's an elf druid. Tap out a green. Put a -1/-1 counter on Devoted Druid. Untap Devoted Druid. Famous for comboing with Vizier of Remedies. I believe that says you can't put -1/-, or sorry, if you would put one on, you put none of them on instead. So what you got is infinite mana with the Devoted Druid. No power, but can go from 0 to 1 billion in mana and basically shoot you down with whatever the hell your deck has to offer. So long as you can spend that mana. Oh, simple but elegant King Ginger with the Birds of Paradise. A classic. It's also very nice to see that Birds of Paradise still sees a little bit of play even today. Green 0/1 bird flying, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. The flying is not irrelevant. I've been killed by a Birds of Paradise before because of like noble hierarchs in play. You know, this is just a form of evasion, so they attack with Exalted and ping me for 1, maybe ping me for 2, depending on how many hierarchs in play, and I just get slowly... Flying is not irrelevant, people! Alright, that's a good blocker. And also it fixes all your mana, of course. Can't stay long, but Birds of Paradise. Erland also is in favor of the Birds of Paradise. A classic. It's nice to see that even though it's been reprinted 100 billion times. Look at this thing. It still holds up. Everyone needs that Birds of Paradise in their deck. Some people need foil 7th edition versions of Birds of Paradise. Bobby! This is a bit of a cheater one, but I'll allow it, because otherwise I don't know if we could fill up the whole show without stuff like this. Alright, Arcbound Ravager. 2 generic mana for a 0/0 creature. However, it has modular 1. Enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies, you can put its counter on something else. You can sacrifice artifacts to put a counter on Arcbound Ravager. This is the card you need to fear when you're up against an artifact deck, because all of a sudden they can sack the whole board. You know, this is like the Psychotog of artifacts, now that I think about it. Everyone who's a fan of Psychotog, this is the Psychotog of artifacts. You just sack your entire board to the Arcbound Ravager, and then you can sack the Ravager to something else if you really want to, like to an Ink Moth Nexus, or maybe let's say you could sack it to a Walking Ballista if it exists, but I was also thinking Hangerback Walker. Hence, speaking of Walking Ballista, King Ginger already there with the Walking Ballista. Looks like it only has 0 power. In reality, it can get to 3, 4, 5, 10. It can get to 10 power. An XX creature that will snipe everything down. Will snipe you down. There's a battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Pay 4 to put a counter on Walking Ballista and remove a counter from Walking Ballista. Deals 1 damage to any target. It's banned. It's also banned. You didn't know about that in Pioneer. Thank God. It's an excellent combo with the Heliod combo. You give it lifelink with Heliod, and then you snipe something, and he gains life and gets... When you gain life, you put a counter on a creature, so you put on Ballista. It's just a 2-card combo. Absolutely ugly. Jacob with the Tree of Redemption. Oh, you know what? I'm not done. I'm on a rant about Walking Ballista here. It kills off all the 1 toughness creatures. It's a win condition if you have infinite mana. It's easy to tutor for because it has like technically a 0 mana value casting cost. I really hate this card. I wish it was banned in more formats. Not that it really deserves to be banned in more formats, but I just hate it as a creature-based deck. If you want to bring creature decks back alive, you get rid of this damn thing. Anyway, all right, next up we got Tree of Redemption versus Tree of Perdition. The Tree of Redemption. We'll do Redemption. Tree of Redemption. It will redeem itself. Green 3 generic 0/13 Defender plant. You can tap, exchange your life total with Tree of Redemption's toughness. And that 13 is relevant. Or is it? Hold on, no, wait a minute. Bad things happen to you when your life total is 13. I forgot about that. You don't want to have 13 life. At 13 life, you can lose to like, Hidetsugu's... is it Hidetsugu's second right? Oh, it's 10 damage. All right, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. All right, anyway. Yeah, Tree of Redemption. The old switcheroo. You could also gain like a bazillion life and give it a bazillion toughness. I don't know. Then throw it in your Doran deck and attack. Chen Fred with Azami. I love Azami. And like Azami isn't like considered broken anymore, right? Like this is the least. Is Azami still broken in Commander? Like, you know, I would say like 10 years ago, if you were playing an Azami deck, it's like, oh, look at the hardcore person over here playing Azami. And I think now by today's standards, no one would even care. You're playing Azami, it's like the least of our worries by today's standards. All right, blue, 2 generic for a 0/2 human wizard with an unbelievable ability. Tap and untap wizard you control, draw a card. Now, this does not require the creature to recover from summoning sickness. Even Azami by herself, just enter the battlefield. You can tap her immediately because you need to have the tap symbol for it to be relevant. You just tap her. Just put her in play, boom, and she's active. And any other wizards you have on the battlefield also could be tapped for mana. I have her in my Merfolk deck, in my Merfolk Commander deck, because a lot of Merfolk are wizards at the same time. So nothing wrong with getting a little combo here. Get a little bit of that wizard synergy. Do clones count? Yes. We will count clones, Pedgeman. All right, Phantasmal Image. You target at this thing, and then poof, it's gone. But otherwise, it could be anything on the battlefield. It could be your stuff. It could be your opponent's stuff. Blue 1 generic 0/0 illusion. You may have Phantasmal Image enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's an illusion in addition to its other types, and has, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Man, the look on my show and tell opponents' faces, they put in the Atraxa, and then I vial in the Phantasmal Image. Copy the Atraxa. I also get the cards. Also in Legacy versus Reanimator, they play with... This is like really good versus Archon of Cruelty. Enter the battlefield, make your opponent sack a creature. Well, I'll Phantasmal Image into play. Copy your Archon of Cruelty, make you sack that thing. And it's all fair game. Now, all of a sudden, I'm the one with the Archon. You're the one in the loser seat. Jacob with the super chat. Thanks so much for the super chat, Alexander Clamilton. Alexander Clamilton. This is not even a real card. Okay, we'll look at it anyway. We got blue 2 generic 0/4 Clamfolk. Advisor Rebel. Whenever you cast a wordy spell, scry 2. Should be also whenever someone else casts a wordy spell. If it takes you more than 20 seconds to read out the card, basic. Oh, hold on. So a spell is wordy if it has 4 or more lines of rules text. Oh, okay. Red 1 generic tap. Choose target creature you don't control. Reveal the top card of your library. Alexander Clamilton gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of lines of rule text on the revealed card. Alexander Clamilton fights that creature. Wow. The card is hilarious. Not Alexander Clamilton. Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I totally forgot about this card. I didn't even think about Tarmogoyf when I made this. Yeah, I guess the star is considered 0 power. Green 1 generic. Its power is equal to the number of card types among all cards in graveyards, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. How's big your Tarmogoyf ever been? And now Tarmogoyfs can be bigger than ever because they now have like the battle card type. Those battles, like the Battle of Mercadia, the Battle of Eldraine, and so on. So now I think Tarmogoyfs can now get to a 9-10, I think. They need to errata the original Tarmogoyf to explain all card types. One day, deep in the future, we'll have 20 card types. You have to read down Tarmogoyf who knows how long. King Ginger with a super chat. Argothian Enchantress. What about her? She has no power. That's what, but how powerful is she? She's a green 1 generic 0/1 with Shroud, a human druid. And whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. Isn't that just a strictly better version of the Enchantress enchantment? Well, I guess this one can die to Pyroclasm or something. This is just way better. Oh, this is old. It's not even a new card. This is a super old card. It's just not modern legal. I guess Enchantress just isn't what it used to be. Zik is a sucker for the Blood Artist. Who isn't a sucker for Blood Artist? What art do we... What? Did they errata in Alchemy? Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Why does Jumpstart have a completely different... What is the difference between... Whenever Blood Artist or another creature dies, target player loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Oh, you can't target yourself. Was that relevant for some reason? So here, it could be anyone. You could lose a life. Well, this doesn't make much sense. I would like to lose 1 life and gain 1 life, please. Was there a loop with this? Anyway. Blood Artist, huge fan of, How do you like to win with Blood Artist? Do you just wipe the board with a bunch of creatures in play and get a bunch of triggers? Or do you like to use some sort of sacrifice synergy? You let me know in the comment section below. Taylor White with the Ruck Egg. Wasn't this banned at one point? Is this the banned card? I can't remember. I think this was banned for some reason at one time for some why. Okay, red 3 generic 0/3. When Ruck Egg is put into a graveyard from play, put a 4/4 red bird creature token with flying into play at end of turn. I can't remember if this was the one. It was like an egg, and the way the rules worked, like, I don't know, the creature would die instantly or something like that. Maybe it's faster. Oh yeah, do you know what? It probably always ask you, hey, what do you want to target with your Blood Artist? So it's just faster that it automatically hits the opponent and gains you the life, because that's what you're gonna do. I don't know, 99.99999% of the time. Why do you need to target yourself and make yourself lose some life? It just makes no damn sense whatsoever. All right, what do we got? We got next. We got Abe. Thop. Ornithopter, I guess that's Ornithopter. Hands down, one of the most broken cards in the game that no one even wants to touch banning. They've banned so many cards in the decks that Ornithopter has been in, but no one wants to touch Ornithopter itself. The 0 mana 0/2 flyer. It's a very deceptively strong card. It's basically a 0 mana evasive creature that can attack next turn. Now, how is it going to deal damage? You don't know, but every archetype at every point in the history of time has found a way for Ornithopter basically wipe you out. It definitely danger. Imagine telling someone in Antiquities that this would be one of the most powerful cards like 20 years later. That's so weird. We're a time traveler and we tell people, hey, this thing's busted. I'm from the future. I'm 25 years in the future, and I'm telling you, you can't print this card. It's in every deck that gets cards banned. And the people in the past are like, what the hell are you talking about? No one even wants this thing. It's completely pointless. Cute Spider says, Blood Artist. I like to have Blood artist chump block my big green trampling meanies in futile attempt my opponent to survive the next turn. Did Nika Bro Yeah, my brother is a huge fan of that, fan of this card. Elfiner with the super chat. Stuffy Doll. You like combos, people? You're gonna get your combos with the Stuffy Doll. 5 mana, 0/1 construct create. It's a construct? Why? What is the meaning of a construct? I always thought it's like a machine, but this is a doll. It's literally stuffing. I mean, it is a stuffy doll. It is just some fabric filled with cotton, basically. Indestructible. As Stuffy Doll enters the battlefield, choose a player. When Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. Tap, Stuffy Doll deals 1 damage to itself. And if you have a means of... There are multitudes of cards where if you deal damage to your opponent, you can deal damage to Stuffy Doll or Reader. Keep the chain going until you kill your opponent, so... Yes, clones count. Throw out your clones as much as you want. Sir Gyroid with a Shaya Soul of the Wild is good. Alright, we got a green 3 generic. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. What? Non-token creatures you control? So basically everything becomes forests and it becomes insanely big. Power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands. So lands plus the forests that your creatures are. Be one with the forest. Be one with everything. Garrett! He's got his inner pony going on here with the Elvish Piper. This is like... This would go in like basically any beginner Magic the Gathering, I don't know, toolbox. Starter kit of some sort. Everyone looks at Elvish Piper and is like, oh my god, you can put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield? Like Emrakul? But then they find out that this card is like really feeble. Oh, wait a minute. It has one power. This is disqualified. What are you talking? This has to have 0 power. Anyway, close but no donuts. I don't know. Maybe we'll do another show as like the most powerful MTG cards with 1 power. Yeah, I guess that could be a what is continuation. No, I'm gonna get to the super chat. I'm gonna get all to the super chats. I do a little flip flop in between them all, you know. We got Dizzy. God damn it, Dizzy! You didn't give me the name of your thing. Anyway, thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, let's see if I can go find Dizzy's super chat. I'm supposed to name the thing, or maybe I can go find your super chat and then find the thing that you wanted to say afterwards. All right, Dizzy, what's up? Or maybe you just want a super chat for the hell of it because you like the show that much. Okay, not super strong, but I get a lot of value from Reality Chip. There we go. You kidding me? This thing is in Hammer Time. It's a one-of. It's a Stoneforge Mystic Tutor Special. Blue 1 generic 0/4 Equipment Jellyfish. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. That's broken. Well, as long as you can play the cards off the top, and as long as the Reality Chip is attached to the creature, you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. Things like Ornithopter, things like Memmonite. And it's got Reconfigure attached to target creature you control or unattached from a creature. So you can turn it into a 0/4 wall if you want to. It's like a reverse, what's it called? It's like reverse equip. Argentina says, we'll super chat you when I get employed. Sounds great. Want the economy to run strong. When the coffee crew is strong, then I get strong. We got next up Turia with Thing in the Ice. Another blue 0/4 creature. Blue and 1 generic for a 0/4 with Defender. Thing in the Ice enters the battlefield with 4 ice counters on it. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, remove an ice counter from Thing in the Ice. Then if it has none, we transform it into the Awoken Horror, 7/8 monstrosity. And when this creature transforms into an Awoken Horror, bounce all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands. I love playing against this card and then attack with my Mutavaults, which are effectively all creature types. Then my opponent tries to bounce everything with Awoken Horror, but I just bounce my Merfolk, but the Mutavaults remain. Sorry, Awoken Horror, you can't play around Mutavault, or at least not very well. Next up, we got Blacklands Geo, Shield Bearer. A lot of shield bearers. We want this shield bearer. Okay, white 1 generic 0/3 with banding. Hey, let's not make fun of banding. I've played against banding. It's hard to defend against banding. They banned in 1 creature. You have almost completed your 4 years, my son. You shall be a Sky Knight, says Arna. Kurnerud Sky Knight. So they go to battle. Next. Oh god, Spectral Maniac with a heavy one. Golgari Grave Troll. Is this maybe arguably the most powerful card on this list? It's like, It's, for Christ's sakes, it's like restricted in Vintage, for crying out loud. Green 4 generic 0/0 Troll Skeleton, Golgari Grave Troll, enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each creature card in your graveyard. Completely irrelevant text. Pay 1, remove a +1/+1 counter on Golgari Grave Troll to regenerate Golgari Grave Troll. Also irrelevant text. Dredge 6, most important text on this entire card. The casting cost doesn't matter. The power and toughness doesn't matter. The creature type doesn't matter. The other abilities don't matter. The rarity doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter. Dredge 6 is the only thing that matters. They could make everything else blank, and this thing would still be restricted in Vintage and banned in Modern. Effectively. A box of rocks. Or hold on. Kalantara says, you could errata Golgari Grave Troll to have no other text than Dredge 6. Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, star values, anything with 0 mana in the casting or like in the card itself is all fair game. Box of rocks, Somber Walled Sage. Somber Walled. Oh, yeah, the green 2 generic 0/1 human druid tap, add 3 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. Ah, quite the downside. But it's like the super Birds of Paradise. Get a little tap, untap, tap action there. People want to tap this card all day long. Get all that mana. Play them big, beefy creatures. Is Grave Troll really only Dredge 6? Yeah, we mean only. This is the highest Dredge card, I think, in the game. But please don't tell me there's like a Dredge 7 or 8. Alright, what do we got next? Memento! Thank you very much for the super chat. Thermo Alchemist wants to have a word. So it will. Alright, red 1 generic 0/3 human shaman with defender, but tap deals 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap Thermo Alchemist. Does this come with Curiosity? Can you draw 3 cards with Curiosity? Just out of curiosity. Whenever an enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. Because it hits every opponent. Deals 1 damage to each opponent. So, is this like just turns it into tap Ancestral Recall? That's broken. That's a combo. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell and tap it, and then you can like do this a few times. I mean, what are the odds you don't draw an instant or sorcery in your deck after you've got this combo online? Sir Phyrexian Walker. Oh yes, the old-fashioned 0 mana 0/3. The wall before all walls. I have nothing else to say about this card. I don't want to BS any of you. 76 Mog, Minion of the Wastes. Used to cast it with 2 Dark Rituals for 12 to 15 life and attack 2 times for the win. What? Black 3 generic with Star with Trample. When you play Minion of the Waste, pay any amount of life. Minion of the Waste has power and toughness each equal to that amount. Wow. Yeah, so you go turn 2, Ritual, you have the 6 mana. What are you going to do? Pay, oh, so you paid 10 life just to be on the safe side. Because if you go, it's like a 2-turn clock anyway. You can't pay the whole 20 life. So you might as well pay the 10. It's a 10-10. You go scoop it in for the victory. Interesting. Robert with the super chat. Verizol. Isn't great, but it's fun in casual modern. We got blue-green X00 Serpent. Nice picture. Verizol enters the battlefield with a counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. And whenever you cast a kick spell, you may remove 2 counters from Verizol. If you do copy that spell, I think that's pretty insane. You may choose new targets for the copy. So, I mean, you're at least getting 4 counters on this card, right? Oh, sorry, no, you're only getting at least 2 counters on this card. Well, what's the... Enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter for each mana spent to cast it. Oh, so they just give you X as an opportunity to just sink a bunch of mana here. But you're getting at least 2 counters on it for the blue and the green cost. And then from there, you can add, like... So you're going to copy at least 1 spell if you want to. Tommy wants Cherix in here. Where? You want Cherix? Does anyone play with this card? Blue 2 generic for a 0/17. Spells your opponent's cast that target Cherix. The Raging Isle costs 2 more to cast. You can pay 3. Gets +X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control. Gotta play that in your mono island deck. Where's the Urborg for islands? They're never gonna print it, are they? Damn it. I was looking forward to that card so badly. Alright, next up we have Jacob. Star Pupil. Star Pupil, a white for a 0/0 human wizard. A Star Pupil enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. When Star Pupil dies, put its counters on target creature you control. It's like an artifact creature. It doesn't feel like a white creature at all. It feels exactly like an artifact, like I don't want to say arc, like it's like an Arcbound Ravager-ish creature. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Pacers fan forever. Noble Hierarch. We alluded to this card earlier. Didn't look at it though. Oops. I guess it's IE. How do I find this card? Noble H. We want the Noble Hierarch. I don't know why I can't find it. It's big spastic. Green 0/1 human druid. Adds, it's almost a Birds of Paradise. Like, almost. Oh, Calentera's said, yeah, this last one was like Arcbound Worker. Yeah, it's like Arcbound Worker, this thing. It's just a 1 mana with like the 1 counter. It dies, you put the counter somewhere else. Okay, what banned colors, taps for banned colors, has exalted. Still played today in Legacy because it ramps out Uro and a bunch of other crap. So that Uro can attack for 7 damage, as if that's what we really need in this world. Okay, we'll take one from the crowd here. The Alibaba. Alibaba. Oh, it has 1 power. It doesn't count. Disqualified. You can tap target wall. That's weird. Oh, that's a unique ability, though. That's an ability I don't see on any... This is... Okay, that gives me an idea. Cards with very unique abilities. Like, what else taps walls other than Alibaba? Okay, did we do Ruin Crab yet? Not yet. Oh, man. They got, like, 8 crabs now. There's a blue 0/3 crab. Landfall. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 3 cards. Now, that may not sound too dangerous. So maybe to the commander players, they're like, who cares? But in a 1-on-1, this can be broken because if you play, especially with fetch lands, you play the fetch land, mill 3 cards, sack the fetch land, mill another 3. That was 6 cards. All right, that's like, I don't know, 8% of your library. What's the math on that? Okay, I don't even have 60 cards in my deck. I have at least 53. So 6 divided by 53. That's 11% of my deck that just went into the dumpster. Unbelievable. Yeah, Ruin Crab. Ruin Crab is broken in Fanex and Commander. Oh, wow. So the people of the crab players. As crab players exist. All right. It's our time. All right, we're going to look at more cards that with no power. But if you need to buy your powerless cards, you're going to want to get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. They've got the inventory of all 0 power cards that you could possibly want. Deal of the week this week, I believe it's now a 35%. Trade in your stuff for 35%. But otherwise, you can go get your Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth cards. The singles, they ship them worldwide, Commander Masters, and all. And if you want to support the channel, outside of just buying from Fusion Gaming Online, you could also use coupon code Nikachu to get 5% off all your purchases. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. You like Ruin Crab? You like them crabs? You could get a mill deck. How do you get the mill deck? You rent it from Mana Traders. The mill deck is good these days. All right, so if you want to mill people, it's actually a tier strategy. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_1YA for 10% off your first 2 months. All right, back to 0 power nonsense. We love our 0 power cards. I have a lot of okay, I have super chats to get to. Did I do Star Pupil? I did Star Pupil. Clever Imposter! Thank you very much for the super chat, King Ginger. Well, if he's so clever, then why is he dead? Clever... Oh, sorry, it's Clever Impersonator. Blue, 2 generic for a 0/0. You can have Clever Impersonator enter the battlefield as a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield. How do you do that? How do you impersonate, like, a machine? Is this like a T-1000? You just have to touch something and you can mimic it? Of any non-land permanent? So you can mimic an enchantment, but you can't mimic a tree. That's what you're telling me. You can't mimic a swamp. Really bizarre. Anyway, it works. Impersonate a soul rig, yeah. Tom Wu with Jace. Vrins, baby Jace. Blue 1 generic 0/2, tap. It's Merfolk Looter. Draw a card, discard a card. And then if you have 5 or more cards in your graveyard, you exile this thing and turn it into a Planeswalker. This card used to be infuriating to play against, but then there was so much removal in the format that the baby Jace just can't survive like one turn. But the second half was Snapcaster Mage, basically. 5 loyalty. You can +1. A creature gets -2/-0 until end of turn, so it's really good at protecting itself. And then -3. Cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard this turn. If the card would be put in your graveyard, you exile it instead. And had a useless emblem. Not even going to read it. Completely useless. Yeah, it used to be an expensive card. It's not. It's still not that bad. Used to be like $50. Now it's like around 20. The Jace fans out there, they have to have that part of their collection, you know? Okay, Nosecrets impersonate the birth of Meletus. What? Oh, you're talking about the what the hell? Oh, hold on, let's get. Yeah, I know you're talking about the flavor thing with the Clever Imposter. The birth. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. Yeah, you force a Clever Imposter to impersonate the birth of something else. All right, go do it. Feel that labor. Anyway, yeah, that was purely disgusting. Is this like symbolic or something? Or is this how this person's actually getting born from a vase? It's probably a very, it's poetic or whatever. Reef Worm from Sir. Reef Worm. Oh yeah, this card. Blue 3 generic 0/1 worm. If it dies, you create a 3/3 blue fish creature token with. If this thing dies, create a 6/6 blue whale creature token with. When this creature dies, create a 9/9 blue kraken creature token. What? There's nothing else that will eat that. There should be. Where's the fishing line? Do they not have like? Do they not go fishing in the multiverse? I'm gonna get the super chats. I flip flop around. If you super chat, I promise I'm gonna get to all of you. I promise you all. I have a lot of super chats to get through. Anyway, I think there should be a fishing line here to imply like you keep getting a bigger catch and then you keep throwing the other thing back in to get even more stuff. Dizzy Blizzy, thank you very much for the super chat. I made you dig for my post, so I have another $5 in apology. It's okay. It's a beginner's mistake. It's okay. Thank you very much though. Rot Boy with can't believe no one suggested Tarmogoyf yet. They did. Tarmogoyf. We'll go back though. Let's look at the future sight one. So back in the day, they're like card types are artifact, creature, enchantment, instant, land, planeswalker, sorcerer, and tribal, and now they got to fit in battle. So hold on. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, we can have a 9, 10 Tarmogoyf now. Deuce Machina, Cryptic Tribalites, my beloved boy. Tribalites. Sorry, Trilobites. I don't even know what this is. Bug fans rejoice. We got an XX00 Trilobite. Enters the battlefield with X+1/+1 counter, so it's like Walking Ballista. Remove a counter from Trilobite. Add mana. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, pay 1, tap, put a +1/+1 counter on Trilobite. So you go, oh, you could like help itself, right? So you remove the counter, you get the mana, tap, put a counter on it, so you got 1 free mana to use on whatever you want. Cool stuff. Toilet Duck, Darksteel Hydra. Alright, we got the... you better believe I'll enjoy that cash, Rob Boy. Alright, we got, what the hell is this? Some of those strange alchemy cards. Okay, for Abzan X, we have a star. Indestructible Phyrexian Hydra. Enters the battlefield with X oil counters on it. Hydra's power and toughness are each equal to twice the number of oil counters on it. When it enters the battlefield, conjure a card named Darksteel Ingot and a card named Darksteel Plate into your hand. What is going on with this game? I don't even know what the hell is going on Arena. It would feel like such a foreign game to me if I like threw myself into Historic or something by today's standards. Alchemy is insane. The cards that they're making. This is wild. Does anyone allow like alchemy cards in their commander decks? I don't mind the idea of conjuring stuff into your hand. Like it's like, you know, it's like getting cards from outside the game and putting it into the game. I actually think it's a very practical thing that you could do. And maybe the cost is you have to stuff the cards that you conjure have to come from your sideboard, in a sense. Sean said, sorry, man. Ali from Cairo. Ali from Cairo. Oh, let's look at this. Oh, this one. Red 2 generic 0-1. Damage that would reduce your life total less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. This is an amazing card, actually. Underrated. $400. Okay, sorry, it's not underrated. It is accurately rated because people are paying through the nose for it. I should be a little bit bigger. There we go. Just a little bit bigger. All right, more super chats. Let's get to Mr. Leon. Okay, let's get to Mr. Leon. Thank you very much for the super chat. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Oh yeah. This card was so good until they printed the answer to this thing, which was effectively Dress Down. But before that, this card was just rocking every format. Black 1 generic star. With a kicker of 5 mana. So when you cast the spell, if it was kicked, each player loses half their life total rounded up. I mean, if that don't spell danger, I don't know what does. So it's great early in the game, and then if you have it late in the game, you just dome your opponent for half their life. Scourge of Skyclave's power and toughness are each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among all players. So you gotta get them life totals down. So you gotta like bolt them for a little bit or something. Nick Ross, thank you so much for your patience and your super chat. I'll give you a good sound effect. Erratic Cyclops is an interesting indeed. Also, hi, welcome. Erratic Cyclops. Red 3 generic for 0/8 creature. That's a big butt for 4 mana. Cyclops Shaman. Trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Erratic Cyclops gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is that spell's mana value. That's still a very large toughness for a type of card like this. So basically, you just play spells. So you want to play big spells. You know, ideally 4 or more. Play them X mana spells. Maybe gain a million life for X mana. And turn this thing into X infinite power. Infinite power and infinite possibilities. Okay, who haven't I not gone here? We got the Green Ranger! The Vortex Elemental. Oops. Blue 01. Has anyone actually made use of this? It's a bit of a weird card. Blue, put Vortex Elemental and each creature blocking or blocked by it. I don't know who would block this thing. On top of its owner's libraries, then choose players shuffle, then those players shuffle their libraries, and you can pay blue 3 generic, target creature blocks Vortex Elemental this turn. So you're essentially sinking like 6 mana to like shuffle somebody's card back into their deck. I don't know. It's 8 cents, but hey, you like this stuff, you go for it. What is this? Vagilis Fear, Polukranos Unchained? Hold on, it's Polykranos. Is there an Unchained one? Oh, there is an Unchained. No, it is Polukranos. I'm glad I know what the hell you're talking about. Okay, green, black, 2 generic for a 0/0 zombie Hydra. Enters the battlefield with 6 +1/+1 counters on it. It escapes with 12. If damage would be dealt to Polukranos while it has a counter on it, prevent that damage, remove that many counters from it. Green, black, 1 generic. Polukranos fights another target creature. You can escape it for 6 mana. Exile 6 other cards from your graveyard. So it be back. You can't, whatever kills the Pelucranos, also probably went down with the ship with it. Grist? I guess that... Okay, whatever. You know, you got me. You got me. It's a green black one generic planeswalker. However, as long as Grist, the Hunger Tide, isn't on the battlefield, it's a 1/1 insect creature in addition to its other types. So it's literally a creature on the stack. You cast it, it's on the stack. And it's got anyway, it's got a lot of abilities, but it technically has no power. It's just a 3 loyalty planeswalker. What a technicality that is. Yeah. It technically has 1 power? I think it has 0 power. It has nothing. 1 power, yeah? How is this? How do you guys think? How do you guys reckon it's has 1 power? Grist technically has 1 power. It's a 1/1? As long as Grist, it's a hold on, it's a 1/1. Oh, that's true. Okay. Thank you. It actually specifies here. That is so weird. They would give it power and toughness. All right. Disqualified, Jack. You tried. You almost got me there too. Yeah, it literally says it. Got to read the second line. You got to read the cards sometimes. You read the cards and it'll tell you what it does. All right, we got next Geyer. Let's go through some super chats. Nick's Fleece Ram. Nick's Fleece. I don't know if there's many Nick's Fleece cards. Okay, true story. I played Standard at one point when this thing was legal. I had a mono red deck. My opponent played this, and I was just dead. I was stone cold dead. I can't beat this because for a white 1 generic, it's a 0/5 wall that I'm never getting through. And then even if I attack, my opponent has the option to just not even block. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life. That 1 life, that was the death of me. Burn players, you know what I'm talking about. All them burn players and mono red players, you hate to see that 1 life. You also hate to see the 0/5 wall, because even if they block, then I have to spend like a bunch of resources just to finish the stupid sheep off. Coulter with the super chat, thank you so much. Has Uchulan done? No, I don't even know what this is. Uchulan. Uchulan. Black 3 generic for a star 4 creature. Crab Ooze Horror. Power is equal to the number of crabs, oozes, and horrors you control. Horrific Symbiosis at the beginning of your end step. Exile up to 1 target creature card from the opponent's graveyard. I like that. And if you do create a token, that's a copy. Oh, so you just keep making more of these stupid things. Crabs, oozes, and horrors you control. And it is a crab, ooze, and horror, so they buff each other up. We're counting the star as a no power, just that like we have enough content. Like it's possible we'd run out of content really fast if we didn't do that. Crab Tribal commences, yes. Calanteras with Adeline? Oh yes, more star creatures. White 1 generic. Star Force, Vigilance. Power is equal to the number of creatures you control. Whenever you attack, for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. Summer Mermaid Star, Pramicon Sky Ramparts. What is this? Pramicon. Definitely has power. That's 1 power right there. Come on, we just disqualified Grist for having 1 power. Grist just got disqualified for doing that. Rot Boy, thank you very much for the super chat. Time Elemental, we do a little trolling. Time Elemental. This thing? Okay, blue 2 generic for a 0/2 elemental. When Time Elemental attacks or blocks at the end of combat, sack it and it deals 5 damage to you. Blue 2 generic tap, return target permanent that isn't enchanted to its owner. Return target permanent that isn't enchanted to its owner's hand. So basically, you just don't want to attack or block this thing. What a weird ability. But the second ability is not bad. It's like a Waterfront Bouncer. Except it's bad. It's a worse version of Waterfront Bouncer. By all means. Wait, we got Ryan. Char Rumbler. Char Rumbler. Wow, it has less than 0 power. What? Okay, we got red, 2 generic, -1, 3 creature. This literally looks like an unglued card. Oh, that sounds like a good show. Cards that look like cards that look like unglued cards. For those unsets. This doesn't look like a real card. See, you put a double striker on a -1 creature. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna give toughness to your opponent or something? Pay a red. Char Rumbler gets +1/+0 until end of turn. How did they think this was even dangerous? -1 is not 0. Well, but it still has no power effectively. I mean, it's not in the plus. That's for sure. Can I get? I know exactly. Can I gain life from this? It's a good question. Exactly, what the heck? I didn't even know, like, that was even a thing that was possible. No wonder the AI-generated cards get screwed up. The algorithm looks at stuff like this as, oh, if that's possible, anything is possible. I can have a -20 creature. I could have -20 toughness, maybe. Yeah, it heals your opponent. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that's a pretty neat card. Probably, I mean, it is powerful in some, if you have, like, a lot of mana available, you can still, like, double strike your opponent to death, but it's very bizarre. Take away my damage, opponent. Yeah, if you don't buff it up, it actually, like, reduces the amount of damage. Corbinik with, Magus of the Moat. What a wild card. White, 2 generics, 0/3 creatures without flying can't attack. That card is insane. And also just a cheap way of owning Moat without actually having Moat. Okay, so you take damage equal to the creature's power, causes you to gain life if it's -1. That's the way I'm interpreting it. I mean, it might not actually work like that because, you know, a lot of rules in Magic they just work in an arbitrary way. Like, there's no logic to it. It's just the rules say it happens like that, so it just happens like that. What do we got here with Garrett? Rog, son of Rog. What is this? Rograk? Oh yeah, this guy, the 0 mana 0/1, the Kobold Warrior. First strike, Manus Trample with partner. Arguably the most powerful kobold in the game. Not that there are many kobolds in the game in the first place. It's got like a bunch of useless keywords for something that has 0 power. You gotta buff it up with like a hammer or something. Jess says Bastion Guardian also has negative power. Bastion... Is it Bastion? Bastion... Can't find it. Yeah, I'll just briefly look. Is there any... No, I can't find this card. Sorry. It don't exist, in my opinion. Kobolds or bust. Workhorse is more of a flexible trilobite. Alright. Okay, 6 generic mana for a 0/0. Workhorse comes into play with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Remove a counter from Workhorse. Add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source. Oh yeah, it's basically the same thing. Jesse says, Fortune Thief is a poor man's Alley of Cairo. Hey, we could always use a poor version of anything. So we have a red 4 generic, 0/1. Damage that would reduce your life total less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead. But it has Morph. Now this is interesting. That's actually pretty good. This is a huge price difference for just 1 more mana. They tacked on 1 more mana and it went from $400 to 23 cents. That's good value if you ask me. Wait, hold on. Do we have any more super chats? We do actually. We have one from Coulter. Rabid Wombat has won me many games. Rabid Womb. Why can't I find these? Oh, it's Rabbit Wombat. Why can't I find any of these cards today? I typed that in. I don't. Something screw with Scryfall today. Green, green, 2 generics, 0/1 Wombat, Vigilance. A Rabbit Wombat gets +2/+2 for each or attached to it. All right, so for them Bogles fans, they might want to throw a little Rabid Wombat into the mix over there. It doesn't have much power now, but it will soon. Oh, the green Pack Rat. That's a great one. This is the Star card, black 1 generic. I'm really surprised that there really isn't that much play out of this card, even in competitive formats. Pack Rat's power and toughness are each equal to the number of rats you control. Pay a black 2 generic, discard a card, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of Pack Rat. Starts off with 1. If you don't kill it, you know, it's like any sort of infestation. You gotta kill it at its source. You gotta beat it while it's down. Otherwise, it gets out of control really quickly. Ryan said slap on morph to get around the reserve list creatures. Or you could just add just add 1 mana, it's over. Zeus! Floriferous Vine Wall. 0/2/0 green 1 generic plant wall with defender. Enters the battlefield, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You can reveal a land card from among them, put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It's like in some sense, it's like a worse version of that Satyr, Wandering Satyr. It's like a 1/1, but you look at the top, like four-ish cards. I think it's only 4 cards you put a land into your hand, but you put the rest in your graveyard. Whatever, you need them lands, the plant wall is going to find it for you. King Ginger, thank you so much for another one of your super chats. Boop. Jeering Homunculus. My icon and favorite card ever. Are you serious? Is that Philip the guy? Or is this a completely different homunculus? Blue 1 generic 0/4. Enters the battlefield. You may goad target creature. Blink that thing and keep goading. Until your next turn, that creature has to attack. And they have to attack someone else other than you. Trevor Peebles also with the super chat. I missed out. Here's for a mocha. Have a nice day. Oh, thank you so much. How do you miss out? You didn't miss anything. Minion of the Mighty from Dem. It'd be pretty cool. 1 red for a 0/1 menace creature. Pack Tactics. Whenever Minion of the Mighty attacks, if you attack the creature with total power 6 or greater this combat, you may put a dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Tap it attacking. What the hell? If you attack with creatures, so you just need to have enough. So between this reminds me of another card. Like if your life total was low enough, you get like a dragon every turn or something like that. Anyway, this is you need a little bit more work, but you will get it online and start putting dragons onto the battlefield. Dizzy Blizzy, thank you so much. You know what? I know you gave me another super chat earlier, so I'm definitely gonna do this one. Mnemonic Wall. Ah, the walls! I'm surprised no one said, like, Wall of Ice. Blue 4 generic 0/4 defender. Enters the battlefield, you can return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. It defend. It don't really attack. Sorry, it protect. It don't really attack. But it bring that instant or sorcery back. Breathe Wall of Nets. And here come the walls. White 1 generic. 0/7. At end of combat, remove from the game all creatures blocked by Wall of Nets. Blocked. Okay, so like they take a big risk trying to attack into this thing. If Wall of Nets leaves play, return to play under their owner's controls. All creatures removed from the game with Wall of Nets. That's a really unique ability. It's like an Oblivion Ring, and then when it gets blown up, you put everything back onto the battlefield. Very flavorful. Toad's like, shred that thing. It's good. Torch of Sin. 0/0 colorless construct token or 0/0 black germ token. Huh? 0/0 colorless construct makes more sense than the germs. For the show. Joe! Rock Hydra. Ah, yes! Red X for a 0/0. It's an old card. It's a beta card. How did it read back then? So X always existed. Oh yeah, because of Channel Fireball. Okay, put X +1/+1 counters. Heads. Yeah, those are... They had to explain the flavor back then. On Hydra. Each point of damage Hydra suffers destroys one head unless red is spent. During your upkeep, new heads may be grown for red apiece. Okay, now what's the real? How does this work actually? So it enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. For each 1 damage that would be dealt to it, I'm sure you have to remove a counter. Pay a red, prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to Rock Hydra this turn. Okay, and then you can, at your upkeep, you can activate it for triple red. The Hydra get more and more heads. Earthquake takes out the Hydra. In theory. They have to be tapped out. We didn't do Wall of Roots, actually. Oh yeah, this is actually one of the more broken 0-power creatures in the game. Well, broken is a strong word, but it sees a lot of play because it's a green 1 generic. It's a wall for green 1 generic, 0/5. It's got Defender, but you can add more mana, so it's basically like a ramp spell. You put a -0, -1 counter on it and add a green. Only once per turn, though. So long, TCG, dude. Alright, what do we have for super chats? Oh, we have a lot of super chats. I better get through them all. Alright, we've got Tree of Perdition or Wall of Ice. Go look at Wall of Ice. We did Tree of Perdition. Thank you much, Geyer. Well, I thought the Wall of Ice was, like, blue. Okay, why is it green? Green 2 generic 0/7 wall, and that's it. This is such a flavor fail. This is a very blue thing. Did they errata this? No. Even by the 30th anniversary standard, it's still a green. It's, well, anyway. Makes no sense to me, that's for sure. Eldraman, thanks so much for the super chat. Does the power have to be 0 or just low? It has to be 0 or less. Or it can be star. At least that's how it was working today. Trevor Peebles, thank you very much for the super chat. In that case, Rograx, son of Rog. Did we just look at this one? Or did I do this one already? I think I did this one. Yeah, we did this one. Blake Mamba. Did we do Primordial Hydra? We did a few Hydras. I don't know about the Primordial one. We did not do Primordial Hydra. Green X for a 0/0 that enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counters. At the beginning of your upkeep, double them! And then Hydra has Trample as long as it has 10 or more +1/+1 counters. And Velocity. Endless one. Oh yeah, the endless one. X 0/0. It comes into play with X +1/+1 counters on it. Dangerous. It was dangerous in the Eldrazi decks. I think at the time, I can't remember. Could you play this for free at one time? Can't remember how that worked. Blake Mamba with a sneaky little super chat at the end. Did we do the Overgrown Battlement? I don't think so. Okay, sounds like you guys are going hard with the extra super chats. So we'll go, the show ends when the super chats end. Okay, Overgrown Battlement. Green 1 generic 0/4 wall with Defender. You tap out a green for each creature with Defender you control. Alright, now we got Coulter Chase. Wall of Frost. I think that was maybe that was, I thought this was called Wall of Ice. This is the wall I was thinking about. The blue 1 generic 0/7 Defender, and if it blocks a creature, it gets stunned. It doesn't untap during its next untap step. Okay, so I was wrong. I thought this was Wall of Ice for the absolute longest time. So apparently it was Wall of Frost. If I went Meddling Mage named Wall of Ice, I would be horribly, horribly mistaken. Apparently, okay, hold on. This doesn't make any sense. The Wall of Ice, just a pure chunk of ice, is green, but Frost, which is on top of the tree, is blue. Like, this should be... I would understand if this was the green card. Because, like, these are trees in the background with just some frost on top. But, anyway. Make no damn sense to me. Alright, next up, we've got... Rot Boy. Spinal Parasite. Sounds disgusting. 5 generic. Oh, for a -1/-1 creature. Well, I'll be damned. There's more than one creature out there that breaks the rules of math in the game. with Sunburst. Comes into play with +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana used to cast it. You better have at least 2. Remove 2 counters from Spinal Parasite. Remove a counter from target permanent. Very useful card. Okay, Elraman here, back with the next super chat. Thank you so much, Elraman. Axebane Guardian. Cause you know. Do I? Green 2 generic human druid with Defender 0/3. Add tap, add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool where X is the number of creatures with Defender you control. You like them those Defender cards, do we? Blue Bomber! Thank you very much for the super chat. Did we get Fertilid? Nope. Hold on, which one? Are there 2 of them? Okay, one's a creature, one's not. We got a green 2 generic 0/0 elemental, Fertilid. Enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. We got a green 1 generic, remove a +1/+1 counter from Fertilid. Target player searches their library for a basic land card, puts it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffles. And then there we go. Shuffles the library. Back in the day, they'd say shuffle the library. So it's just a means of doing a little bit of ramping up. Ramp them up. Scott, the Dark Knight. Oh, thanks so much, everyone, for the super chats. I had no idea you guys love this show so much. We have a Smoldering Egg. This show is going way into overtime today. We got a red 1 generic 0/4 Dragon Egg. Oh yeah, it's like the red thing in the ice, right? I think this is the red version of Thing in the Ice. For a 0/4 Defender, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a number of Ember counters on Smoldering Egg equal to the amount of mana spent to cast the spell. And then if Smoldering Egg has 7 or more Ember counters on it, remove them. And we're going to transform it into the Dragon, Ashmouth Dragon, a 4/4 flyer. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Ashmouth Dragon deals 2 damage to any target. What does that mean, Ashmouth? Do they smoke or something? Do they like cigars? Is there some lore I don't know about? A dragon is born, a province burns. Yeah, time and a half. All right, what do we got next? We've got this was the egg one, right? Smoldering Egg. Then we got Sean, who didn't tell me. Okay, I gotta look. Okay, Sean McCartney, where are you? I'll go dig. Sean McCartney, what was your card? Supposed to give it at the same time. We got Living Wall. People are a fan of walls, that's for sure. 4 generic for a 0/6. Oh yeah, this card is disgusting. It's got a fetus in it. That's what it's supposed to be. It's a bunch of random organic tissue and then a fetus in the middle. Ew. Okay, wall, a 0/6 Defender. Pay 1, regenerate Living Wall. Hard to get through. It's not even a wall I want to touch. I mean, it doesn't even need regeneration. It just means if a creature would try to attack into Living Wall, untap it, it doesn't even attack. It's disgusted at the sight of this damn thing. Yeah, the snot bubble. Well, in addition to a lot of other stuff that's going on in there. Would smash that wall? Ew. Alright, what do we got next? We got Bryce with the super chat. What have I not used so much today? How about Giant Ox? Oh yeah, the that can equip crew vehicles? What is that? What does the Ox have to do with that? Now that I think about it, okay, we got a white 1 generic 0/6 Ox, and Giant Ox crews vehicles using its toughness rather than its power. That makes no sense. Why would the Ox crew anything? It's an Ox. It plows fields at best. It doesn't know how to drive a car or a ship. Or is it like it will carry it? There was like this old joke that when the car first came out, they were showing off like, hey, the car can do this and it's got these wheels and it goes this fast. And at the end, everyone was like, okay, this is all fancy now and all, but where do I put the horse on that thing? So maybe that's the same thing with the Giant Ox. I mean, the Ox is basically pulling the car, pulling the ship because it's so big. Because that's like, that doesn't make any sense. But he can pull a carriage, man. I know, exactly, that's the thing. I guess, what's the point of the vehicle when it's the one, you know, basically being the vehicle? It's like the repo. It's the Repo Depot Ox. Blue Bomber! Thank you very much for the super chat. My personal favorite card, Signal Pest. Oh, I can't believe we almost got through the whole show without Signal Pest. This card is insane. It's a 1-mana 0/1 creature with Battle Cry. Now, it's not going to pump itself up, but when Signal Pest can't be blocked except by creature with Flying or Reach. And Battle Cry is whenever the creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. If you have a bunch of Signal Pests and maybe a bunch of tokens or very small dinky creatures, it's like a really good chunk of damage that and very, very hard to interact with because it's very hard to block the Signal Pest in the first place. Blake Mamba. What am I going to give you here? Yeah, I'll give you this one. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Oh, we did that one. But you super chat, so I'm going to do that one again. All-Star and Pioneer right now in the mono-white human deck. White, 1 generic for the star 4 vigilance creature. And its power is equal to the number of creatures you control, but for each opponent, create a 1/1 white human creature token that's tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker they control. Pretty sick stuff. Alright, that's it. Alright, we got through them all. What an amazing show we had today. I hope you like. If you like that stuff, let me know and I'll try to be creative and we'll make more things like this. Alright, as usual, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you very much for my supporters. I really appreciate it. Everyone who supports by being a member on YouTube, patron on Patreon, or if you super chat to be part of the show. And we've got to thank everyone who's here for the show. We got people like Nick Ross, we got Toads, Pedman, Tommy, Siddons, Coulter, Rotboy, Button, Just a Basic Squid, Argentina. Who else we got? King Ginger, Coulter, of course. Because without all you guys, I'd have no show. You guys are the show around here, the Coffee Crew. So as usual, my Coffee Crew, you keep bringing up them coffees, and we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cop.